budget was $20. Basically, I'm trying to help a couple of people out who've asked me, hey, what can I do for $20? I love what I'm seeing on your bentos and all the cooking you're doing. It looks so good, but I don't know if I could do it, and I'm on a really tight budget. I'm like, okay, what's the budget? He said, $20. I'm like, $20 for the day or $20 for the week? Because trust me, that changes what you can buy greatly. And they said, $20 for the week. I'm like, okay, gonna take a little bit of planning, but it's doable. And I will show you what I bought. Okay, so I'm gonna turn both of you this way. Sorry about the back flare. You know what? Better yet, I might even just hold stuff up. But yeah, basically from here to here, which goes off the screen. Okay, the biggest thing is if I had to do a hard cut, take something out, so that I stayed within budget. This. This is salted mackerel. It's pike mackerel, also known as Pacific Souri. Really great oily fish. Oh, it's so good. So good. There's so many things you can do with it, truthfully. But it is $5 a pound. And at $5 a pound with a very limited budget, you only get about a pound of this. Basically, I bought a pound. It's one, two, three, four. It's 5 fish. So truthfully, I could stretch that across 5 meals. Not a problem. But again, also the most expensive thing that I bought. So if I had to make a hard cut to stay under budget, it'd be this. So we're going to go ahead and set that to the side. Now, I got chicken leg quarters. Big old package of it. I've got 3 pounds here. It was $1.19 a pound for legs, which is really good. Especially with a leg quarter. So with a leg quarter, you get not only the drumstick, but you get the thigh and a good portion of meat. So you cut each of these in half, and you've got a portion for a meal. And it's actually rather filling. You could do tons and tons and tons of stuff with this. Okay. Vermicelli, and these are individual bundles in a larger package. There's 8 of them here, and it was $1.19 for a pack of 8. I'd like to say sumida to H Mart for having all these lovely sales and great prices and everything going on. Also, thank you to the 99-cent store, which is the other place that I went to get some of my filler. Because you want a good starch base, especially if you're going to be working and moving around a lot. And starch is actually your burner fuel, and then you pad it out with vegetables, which give you your minerals and some of your salt content, hopefully. And then you pad that out with the meat to help, with the protein, the slow burn, all that kind of good stuff. Also at the dollar store, got a full, thick thing of flour. Sorry, not flour. Ooh, that would have been bad. No, corn tortillas. And if you are gluten sensitive or gluten intolerant, corn tortillas are fabulous. You can make chips from them. You can do enchiladas, tacos, flautas. You can do all kinds of things with it. So it makes it fabulous. Also, picked up a bag of rice. And this is 24 ounces, which means it's roughly 3 or 4 cups of rice, which you can, again, half a cup of rice actually makes a very large portion for a meal. So you've got probably, I think, close to 8 portions in here. It says 12. Anyways, this is $1. They also had brown rice. They had jasmine rice. The jasmine rice was a slightly smaller package. Brown rice is just unbleached. It has a bit of the hull, or not so much the hull, but it's still brown on the outside. It has a little bit more of the fiber. It hasn't been processed out. I also picked up red beans, also sometimes known as aradzuki beans. And you can actually make a lot of great desserts out of this. It's actually perfect for red beans and rice, which I actually plan to make. I'm going to maybe even look up a couple of recipes for dirty rice and see if I can finagle it. Ooh, this was actually quite fabulous. So these are rice wrappers. Completely gluten-free. They are just rice paper. They're made, with the sticky ground up basically rice that has been finely spread. Love these. Actually found a lot of extra uses for them, not just spring rolls. You can do egg rolls. You can do, uh, uh, what am I thinking? Almost like a spanakopita. You can do a lot of things. A lot of things with them. And I'm actually going to test out a couple of those things, see how well they work. I picked up coconut milk for $1. And I love coconut milk because it makes your rice taste wonderful, and you can also do very nice curry sauces with them, which makes me delightfully happy because I love curry. I picked up an apple on principle because I actually really wanted to do some sort of a dessert or some sort of a sweet treat for the week. And so getting a large apple means I can have something kind of nice and sweet. I'll probably add a little honey or sugar to it, a little bit of cinnamon or other spices, and create a couple different things and like to see how that goes. Okay. Enoki mushrooms, because they said they liked mushrooms. Enoki mushrooms are actually really great. They absorb flavor wonderfully, and I got 2 packs for 99 cents. Most of the stuff that I bought today was around $1 or less, so I'm delighted. Trust me. I'm so delighted. I got a beet. If you've never seen a beet, it's just this, and it has kind of a flavor almost like a slightly sweet potato. Not sweet potato, but a slightly sweet potato. Also, it has a lot of beta carotene, a lot of good minerals and vitamins that you need in there. And I figured I'd like to color some of the food that I'm doing. So beet is actually a really great way to do that without having to use food coloring, because I know some people are really sensitive to red dye. And, I'm all about trying my best to be healthier and present options. Picked up a couple of small russet potatoes. They were like 59 cents a pound. This is under a pound, so I got like, I think 50 cents worth? Yeah, like 40 cents worth. Sorry. The white potatoes and the red potatoes have a slightly more waxy texture. They're better for boiling. You can do a lot of country potato kind of stuff with this. I figured I could do some maybe mini baked potato skins, maybe some potato croquette, and a couple other things. I figured it'd just be nice to have some option. Organic king oyster mushrooms, $1.79. They are great. They actually have a good flavor to them. They soak up flavor really well. They bolster just about any meal. They have a very much a meat-like quality to them when it comes to chew. So it's not weird, and some people just really don't like the texture of mushrooms. I didn't like the texture of mushrooms, but the king oysters are actually really nice for that. I got a couple of big jalapenos. And literally, both of these were 22 cents. I mean, you can't beat it. You cut it into, fine strips or into little circles. Mince it up finely. A little bit goes a long way. You've got a nice little bit of heat and spice. And who doesn't like a little bit of heat and spice? If you don't like heat and spice, it's okay. You just don't have to buy them, right? Okay, so to fill in my greens quotient, I got chilihon. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Chilihon. And it's like a dark leafy green, which means it's going to be a higher iron content. Double check to make sure it doesn't have too much of a thyroid blocker in it if you have a thyroid issue, or just limit yourself to like 1 serving per day usually. Did pretty good with that. This big thing, which should definitely last me the week, cost me $2.28. So, also, these are some of my favorites. You can use these green onions from top to bottom, quite literally. From, you just cut off the root, all the way up is good to eat, lots of flavor. A good handful in anything you're doing gives it just perfect. I actually like to sometimes take the stems and julienne them and put them into like a salad or in with noodles, and just, it's so good. So good. And, okay, so this thing of eggs one of the best, absolute best uh, deals that I got today. Um, this whole thing was like, I think it was $2.50. Let me look at my receipt real quick, because it's a long old receipt. Ah, here it is. So yeah, I got this pack of eggs, 20 eggs, for $2.69, and they're regularly priced $3.49. Even at $3.49, far less expensive than most of the 12 packs of eggs, and they had all different kinds, range, free range, cage free, the whole nine. Well, I went ahead. I am so sorry. So sorry to do that. So yeah, all the others were roughly 350 to like $6 or $7, and no shade. Seriously, no shade at all. The ones that were $7 were like, I think they were cage free, free range, organic, antibiotic free, like every possible good thing that you could do for eggs. But yeah, I got all of this, all of that for, actually, technically, without the mackerel in there, I got all of this for $20. I can pretty easily make this into a week's worth of food, especially because the chicken leg quarters, I can get about 6 meals out of that. With the eggs, I can do quite a few meals. I've got plenty of starch to kind of bolster it out. If I add this back in, I went over by a couple of bucks, but still doing pretty darn good. And this definitely makes it so I go through to the end of the week with food. Um, if I'd wanted to, I could have actually just bought another pack of the chicken, and that would have, again, bolstered the meal quite heavily because, 3 pounds for $4, basically, a little under $4, is a really good deal. And again, thank you, H Mart. They had a lot of great deals going on. Visit different grocery stores often. Some of them have flyers that they'll put out so that you actually know what the sales are going on. Do a little bit of planning beforehand, and it actually tends to help. Sometimes if you just walk in on the day, you can still find a lot of really good things. Ooh, I have to show you the thing that I got that I'm actually the most proud of. And it's mostly because I really wanted some more fruit, and I wanted to try some different recipes with light desserts and whatnot. But the fruit that I usually like to buy can get rather expensive. And so normally this would have been $8. Yep, that's right. I got this giant, I'm going to say, close to 10 or so pound seedless watermelon. It was on sale. Super duper on sale. They had a mountain of them, all of them in very good condition. Got it for $3. So, yeah, I will be doing things with watermelon. I might try out a couple of watermelon salads, especially with these greens that I have. If I can find some decent feta, I might try a feta watermelon salad. I'm still very cautious about salt in watermelon. I don't understand it. But I think I might also try like watermelon sorbets or maybe a watermelon ice cream. I'm not quite sure just yet, but we shall see. So if I were to include everything together, I spent, let's see, 22 plus 5. I spent $29 in total. If I take away the watermelon and the mackerel, you'd still have food for the week, I think, basically. And it would have been about $21, $22. Or actually really, really, really close. really close to the $20 mark. So stick with me. I will be cooking all for the next week. I'm using a limited pantry, and by limited, I mean, you know, the spices that I have, and then just the basics that I have left over from this last week or so, which is a little bit of rice cake, bamboo shoots, a little bit more mushrooms, some gochujang, a little bit of pickled radish, a lot of stuff that I was going through anyways, and eating. So it's not like I'm, oh my goodness, I have so much. No, I've got a little bit left over. This is what a typical person or even family in America is dealing with. It's, you know, day by day, week by week, they are doing what they can to get by, especially when they have food insecurity. And like I said earlier, we've got about a 40% food loss rate from not only farm to grocery store, but from grocery store to consumer. We're losing about 40% in total of edible food that's being thrown away or left to rot in the fields. And we actually need to really work on getting some sort of a food capture and distribution. If you actually want to have a really good and healthy economy, one of the best ways to do that, especially if you want something that lasts long term and is very profitable and is really good at keeping everybody sustained and going, you want to actually pay your workers more. You just do. When workers can pay more, and when certain other things in the market are controlled, such as rent or food, or availability to food, you actually have a much healthier economy, and you have a healthier worker, healthier base to work with as your citizens. Um, Give them health care, because trust me, preventative care way cheaper than having to deal with emergency care. Not only cheaper for the employee, much cheaper actually for the employers, and you don't lose a worker or have a worker who has to go out on leave or sick, and then you have to train somebody new and da da da. So yeah, trust me, overall you're saving yourself a ton of time and money and hassle. But yeah, fed citizens, healthy citizens, well-paid citizens who can pay their rent and who aren't stressed out are actually far more productive. Just saying. Anyways, sorry I didn't mean to go off on the weird tangent, but that happens. Anyways, thank you so much. You can find me on YouTube at Raven About Bento, and you can find me on Instagram at Raven About Bento. I am occasionally on Twitch doing different things as Dame Red Bento, because I do the cooking, I do art, I do fashion design, clothing making, all that kind of good stuff. I'm also on Patreon as Raven About Bento. If you'd like to donate $1, $5, $10, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I actually do have that set up for my Patreon, and I would be blown away. That'd be awesome. But also, when you donate on Patreon, you will get access to behind the scenes stuff. You will actually get to see a lot more cooking videos. You will get access to my recipes. So trust me, it's all a win-win-win. And I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.